All hail Biafra. My name is Ezine Ngozi Obodefuna. I'm from Birmingham. Here. In Nigeria, I'm from Obosi in Omambala State. Omambala in Biafra State. Yes, in Biafra land. Thank you. I'm not going to bother you with, because of time, with how we left Port Harcourt, because that's where we lived. I was 17 years old when the war started. And to me, that was a very good age to be, because I had time to do a lot of things. I was in everywhere of that war. Everywhere, and I mean everywhere. But I can't begin to tame it now. We left Port Harcourt while I was in Red Cross. I decided to go and join Red Cross. As soon as the war came and we came back from school, I went to join Red Cross. My mother and father didn't want that, but I went secretly, did the training, came over, and I was given a job at the militia hospital, where we worked till Port Harcourt fell. And then we went from Port Harcourt to LLA to look after the people. But with Red Cross, they normally transfer you from one place to another. And that was why you were able to go to different places. So now I was transferred to a sick bay. Children, these Kwashoko children, they were my babies. Kwashoko children. They were my babies. I worked in Oboro in Umuahia. We had a big sick bay there. And guys, this sick bay, almost like every 2 hours, we have to go around to do what? To pick the dead babies up, the dead ones, and they just die. And we have a very big mass grave behind the yard, where we, even myself as a 17-year-old girl, we carry this baby, right? And then we put them in this mass grave and put some sand on top of them, waiting for the next batch. Come on. That was what was happening that day for me, that time. Every day. And I did this, and then there was news that in Ikolekbeni, that the war was on there, and the enemy got onto that area and took the area away and locked all our children in one big, massive warehouse like this. And there must have been something like 3,000 children in a warehouse. And we were locked there for about 4 weeks before our people took over that place and opened up. Come and see what they saw. What happened? They brought those kids to us. And what did we do? That was when we planned to go to Gabon. I was one of the 7 girls that went to Gabon. I was a Red Cross. We have 5 Red Cross girls and 2 nurses. We went to Gabon. We carried these children in Gabon. On the plane, there was no seats. They only had 7 seats on that plane for us. And we were carrying babies. Like a child maybe like 10 months. But I was carrying that child like this because of no food. It was looking like a 2-month-old child. I was carrying one there on my seat and belt, the 3 of us. And we were worried about one thing. Gabonese spoke where they speak French. Our children were speaking Ikolekbeni that we don't know. We didn't speak. And then we can communicate with both our children and when we get to Gabon. So we were in the plane worrying, how can we hand over our children to them? And by the time we got there, while we were on air, traveling, we were hearing over the Nigerian airspace, there was the sounds of shooting the plane, because that plane was going to Gabon. And by the time we got to Gabon, guess what happened? On the runway there were men and women of Igbo, and they were beating their drum, waiting for us. We were just carried like this by them. We never even look at our children again to worry about how we're going to hand over. The Gabon people came and took all the children, all the Kwashoko children, and our people took us to look after our own needs as well. So those children went. 7 girls went to Gabon. I tell you, my people, only 2 of us went back to Biafra land, because the other 5 decided that those men and women that wanted to adopt them and take them away, because, it was hard back home in Biafra. But I decided to go back because my mother would die. Port Harcourt have taken my senior brother and my senior sister. They were dead. So if I didn't come back from Gabon, she would have just died. So I had to go back. And we came back to Gabon again. I did Gabon trip twice. But one other job I did after I left Oboro, I was put to whatever in Okiwe area at the CCP, that is Casualty Collecting Center. The center, the medical center, very close to the war front. So we go to war front with the medicals, the people who are really medical. We are Red Cross, we don't know one. But they taught us what to do. And what did we do? After the war has gone and left, and our people have pushed them, we come in to do what? To get our casualties out. You see dead bodies, all these men that died, but the ones we look at are the ones who are still breathing. And they taught us how to remove the bullet, maybe it's from the leg or from hand. You remove the bullet and sew up the skin. So what did we do? We have our bag. You come across the one that his stomach is out like this with all his everything come out. You pass him, you look at him with pity. He's mourning, he's not dead yet. You pass him looking for the ones you can help, those who are going to live. And then we will get our bag. What do we sew the skin with? Needle and thread. Needle and thread. I was only 17. I was taught to do that. Needle and thread. And you get your knife, you cut the skin where the bullet is, and pick out the bullet, drop it, and then get your needle and thread, and put it on, and get one skin, go over and get the other skin and tie it up, and then carry on until you sew the skin up. That is how that guy lives. He is going to be alive, and you know that's going to be alive. When you've done that, you get your little kaika in your bag, right? And do a dash on the skin just to keep infection from going there, and give him a little thing on his mouth to make him feel a bit happy. Before you do that sewing, you get a piece of stick from the ground and say, bite on it. Tadieze. Otadozianyeze. Ibido we sew the needle, the skin from one skin to the other. You pull it up and then tie it. And that is how he survives. So we do that, and they will survive. He's crying for the pain, but I'm not even sure I knew what I was doing, or I knew how I did it, because when I came to England after the war, I wanted to do nursing. I could not give injections. I was so afraid to pin somebody an injection, knowing that I used needle to put the skin up and down, but I could not actually learn how to do injection until later. It was very difficult for me, hard. But this is what happened in the war. Because of these children, mostly what I love doing so much, well, not I love it, but at least is what I did, was because of the children. I want us, please, let's take care of our children. They are the generation to come. They are our future leaders. Thank you. All hail Biafra.